Test, test, test. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Is it working? Can you guys hear me?
Oh my god, it's live now.
It's not live.
No?
No? Oh, okay.
There's normally
It says
a delay
live.
as well, isn't there, of like a minute or two?
Okay.
Maybe it's delayed 1 minute.
The time down.
I see.
But once it starts, they want to see this what we're doing now, or not.
I think when the countdown starts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Perfect. It's so funny. He's watching it right there, and we're like right here. Yeah.
My husband is our fan.
What's up, guys? Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Awesome. Okay, so I got my friend Karen here with us. We're gonna talk about the differences between life in Mexico versus the life in Colombia. There's a few questions that were already asked that we're gonna start with, and then you guys can start putting questions in the chat, and then we'll go through it one by one. Sometimes these chats they get pretty crazy. So if there's a lot of questions, if you want yours to be seen, definitely do like a super chat or something, and then I'll get to those first. Definitely like the video. That will help us a lot. But thanks Eric, man. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, thanks for the wedding video. So yeah, we'll just get started right away then. Let's see. Okay, so the first question is it possible to compare the different regions of Mexico? I know Mexico is so big, but I imagine every place has different food, customs, accents, climates, and economies. So what's that like?
I think that would be a very long answer, but yeah, we Mexicans separate Mexico in 3 regions: the north, center, and south of Mexico.
Okay.
The north usually are people who they speak differently. We call them norteños, and I'm gonna try to do it in Spanish.
Okay.
It's like they tend to do the words longer, like hola, ¿cómo estás?
Is it kind of like Colombian Spanish? Like how Colombians, they talk very...
Sometimes you can compare it with Colombian Spanish. Sometimes it's a little bit different.
Okay.
The meat is good in the north of Mexico. What else? Climate is very difficult because Mexico has different climate. It can be semi-desert, desert. The weather is dry, so it's hot. The center of Mexico, I'm from the center of Mexico, so in the area where I live is semi-desert as well. It's hot. It's not as hot. Like I would say, I know Celsius. 25 degrees, more or less.
Okay, yeah. I think that's like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that.
Something like that. For example, we are in Manizales in Colombia, and this is a little bit chilly compared to the area where I live. I live in Querétaro, which is the center of Mexico.
Does the skin color differ in Mexico?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say the north of Mexico, people tend to have lighter skin.
Okay.
Obviously, it depends. In the center of Mexico, you can see people more like my color skin, and in the south of Mexico as well.
Okay.
So yes, in the north they are lighter skin.
Okay, cool. All right, let me see what we got. The next question, I'm gonna answer the questions that you guys asked before first, and then we'll get into the chat questions. So what's the difference between Mexico Spanish and Colombian Spanish?
Oh, well, that would be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Mexico Spanish too much. I just know that like, oh, ¿qué más pues? No mames, güey. Órale, güey.
We don't say ¿qué más?
Yeah. I like the stereotypes.
¿Qué más? That's a good one because in Mexico we say ¿qué onda? It's like what's up, right?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
¿Qué más in Colombian and ¿qué onda in Mexico? We say órale a lot.
Okay, right. Ay, super padres, yeah, right?
Super padre, chido. and whereas here you say bacano,
Yes.
you say bacano,
Yeah.
right? I've heard another one, bien pueda.
You guys don't
Yeah.
say that.
No, that's weird. What's that? What
It
does
means
that
like go
mean?
ahead, like bien pueda, right? If you guys have lived in Colombia, when people say that, it's like I'll go ahead, right along, bien pueda, come on in. Something like that.
Exactly. Whereas in Mexico we say pásele or pásale.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Bien pueda doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And my language is Spanish.
Right. Is it like super different? Would you say like the Spanish here in Colombia when you guys have been here?
And not super different. There are definitely a lot of phrases that Colombian people have, and in Mexico we don't have. And I can understand if you're a foreigner who lived in, let's say, Mexico and come to Colombia, they're gonna get confused.
Yeah.
Maybe they will need to start learning again. And my husband is not Mexican. My husband has been learning Mexican or talking to Mexican Spanish a lot. And I've seen that now that we're here in Colombia, he gets a little bit confused with the phrases.
Right.
It seems it's like if he needed to learn Spanish again.
I see.
Sometimes
there's a phrase in Colombian Spanish. It's called juicioso that you guys don't have, right? And it's very common here, and it pretty much means like well behaved. You can talk about it. You use it when you're talking about like dogs, or if you have a kid that's like studying really well, they're being very juicioso. But then that doesn't exist in Mexican Spanish. And it's pretty crazy how different they're really different, the languages.
They're really different. Yeah, it's true.
Okay, cool. How are the people of each country values important, like the values and stuff? And the other question would be like, how conservative and liberal is Mexico compared to Colombia? From what you guys think?
Well, actually, you made a video about that. I watched that video, guys, and where you were asking me and my husband like the difference, like in dating. But there's a lot we said there where we said that family is important. I think in Mexico and in Colombia is the same. I don't know. We like to be surrounded by people as well.
Right.
But from my perception, I think it's much people. No, that's a way. I feel very comfortable in Colombia.
Okay, right.
So I can see people are very open to me. They just want to help me. They say a lot. That's a lot. And I know in Mexico that happens as well. But I'm Mexican, so I can tell the difference.
Is it different in like the different areas of Colombia that you have been to? Like for example, Manizales is specifically like super, super nice. But in other parts of Colombia, do you feel like the people are just as...
It's different, definitely. On the coast of Colombia, we felt they are not as open as here in Manizales. Maybe because it's touristy, you tell me that they are trying to sell you only to sell their services or something. I don't know. That's what I felt.
Yeah. Which one would you say is more conservative? I want to know what you guys think too. Like, what do you think that the Mexican people versus Colombian people? Which one do you think is more conservative?
That's a good question.
In my opinion, I think Mexico is more conservative.
You think?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. Just like the very home traditional values that man is a man, is a woman's a woman, that exists here in Colombia, but in small pockets. But I feel like in Mexico, that's definitely like more the norm.
Yeah.
And then here in Colombia, especially like Bogota, Medellin, especially with a lot of the younger people, they're making a push towards like the LGBT liberal values, progressive values. And I feel like in Mexico, being gay in Mexico is still pretty that's a big deal, right?
I can't say because I don't know too much about like how people feel in Colombia.
Okay.
But what I can say in Mexico, it's true. If you go to a town, it's a taboo.
Yeah.
They are not very open with those topics. But it's true that in Mexico, if you go to the big cities like Mexico City, Guadalajara, even the city where I live, people start to be more open.
Okay.
So I can see a change. Mexico is having change, let's say.
Okay.
Let's say. But I can understand why you say that as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know because I haven't been experiencing this in Colombia too.
Okay. Because here in Colombia, right? Like, I don't know what you guys think, but like for me, I think Colombia is very conservative in the small cities, but the big cities are like Medellin is so liberal, it's so sexualized, it's so everything goes, and Bogota too. Like religion isn't really strong in those big cities, so at least I mean from what I've seen, that's what I think.
Well, what I can see, what I can tell you from what I can see in Medellin is just like how they're like reggaeton is a thing. It's like
Yeah.
a cultural thing.
Yes, yeah.
And that doesn't happen in Mexico. It's and the way like El Poblado in Medellin, I was very surprised by the bars, the party, the clubs. It was surprising. I haven't seen something like that in Mexico. So no, I don't know if that helps.
Interesting. Yeah, so I guess I would say Colombia is probably a lot more liberal than Mexico, at least for the moment. Right. All right, we're gonna start answering some of these questions. Leave a like on the stream, please. That would help us a lot. Okay. In which country have you received the best healthcare?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
Have you lived in Mexico or
No, never.
Well, that's a good question because I haven't had the necessity of receiving healthcare in Colombia, and I haven't been live, and I've just been here for 2 months, so
Okay.
so it's nothing. But I'm gonna tell you something that happened in Mexico, and you tell me if that happens in Colombia.
Okay.
For example, if you don't have healthcare like insurance, it's not a big deal because you can go to a pharmacy and you can just pay for a consulta.
Right.
And it's very very cheap, like $2, $3.
Okay.
They give you the consulta, and then you pay for your medicine. The medicine is very cheap too.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's the same here in Colombia.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So that's I think that's an advantage because it's very open to. It doesn't matter if you're a foreigner or not.
Yeah, that's true. I've actually really surprised by the healthcare in Colombia. I think the healthcare in Colombia is pretty good. I would love to. I mean, I wonder what you guys think, but I feel like the healthcare here, like what she says, everything is just so cheap. You don't have to go through insurance. You know, if you have dollars or foreign money, everything like you just go, you pay for your consultation, you pay for the medicine, it's super cheap, and then you leave. Like in the States, the process is so complicated, and your copay just to meet with the doctor is like $70, $80. It's stupid,
crazy.
and that's with insurance. So without insurance, it's like $100, $150. It's crazy.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. In terms of development, like human rights, security, where do you see Colombia in 10 years, and where do you see Mexico in 10 years?
Okay, you first.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting. I think Colombia is put your questions in the chat, by the way, and we're gonna go through chat questions though. I think with the new president here in Colombia, things are changing. Colombia has been ruled by conservatives for the last like 60 years. And when Petro won, it was like all the like it's like a new change and like a new political, like everything's shifting towards like more progressive stuff. So I would say like as far as human rights goes, I would say Colombia is definitely more progressive in that regard. I don't know. I don't like talking about politics.
No, because it has a lot to do with politics. I can say that it's similar what is happening in Mexico. There's a new president people chose because this president had different ideas compared to the other presidents that we used to have, and probably in that aspect is similar compared to Colombia. And this president had a lot of new ideas to help people with what's the word, low resources. Resources, and that's a good thing, of course. But there's a lot to do with politics. Our president is how do you say apostando? Like it's
supporting or apostar como betting
to Oh my God. Petróleo, big refinerías, become
Okay,
oil
he's investing
refin-
in like oil refineries and
uh-huh,
stuff with okay petroleum.
instead of probably investing in more environment, eco-friendly environment.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's something that I would like to mention, and I don't, of course, I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years,
Right.
but that's I can say that's something I don't like in Mexico.
So the same is here happening here in Colombia. Obviously, I tried to like stay away from politics because I'm not freaking like into that thing. But
Yeah.
from what I'm seeing, I think most Latin American countries are moving towards the left right now, towards socialism, towards
Mhm.
progressive stuff, and it's literally happening like all over the place. So whether it's for the better or for the worse, I'm technically more conservative, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what's gonna happen because I mean I'm not from here, so I can't really talk about the politics of here. Yeah, but yeah, we'll just leave it there.
We try.
Yeah. From the U.S., no. From the U.S., people understood my Spanish better in Mexico versus Colombia. Cameroncita, are you moving to Colombia?
Oh.
Yeah.
I can say that Manizales is a great city to live. And overall, Colombia. I met my husband in Colombia, and this trip was to remember what we love about Colombia. So we've had a very nice time in Colombia overall. And Manizales has something. I
Yeah.
don't know. We met you. We met your wife. You're very nice people, and we felt immediately like
Acogido.
acogidos.
Right.
Exactly.
Like welcome. Yeah.
The city is great too. So, well, I'm gonna tell you a secret. We're going back to Manizales
Yeah.
next year, definitely,
Yeah.
and we're coming back because it's a great city.
Yeah. Awesome. So there's that. Okay. Bogota versus Mexico City.
Ooh. Have you lived or visit? Are you familiar with Bogota?
Bogota, yeah, I've been to Bogota a few times. It's huge, man. Bogota is such a big city. It has a lot of culture there.
Mhm.
I personally actually at the moment like it more than Medellin.
Why?
I don't like Medellin's culture. I think it's been ruined by tourists. I think it's become so sexualized. It's become so like everything good about Colombia. Medellin is Colombia on steroids, right? So all the women, all the partying, reggaeton, all the LGBT, all weed in every corner. Everything is just too much. It's too much of a city, right? And then I feel like Bogota is a little more chill, a little more like New York. People are more like into their studies and jobs, but I'm just not a huge fan of Medellin culture. Yeah, and I think the foreigners have ruined it, have ruined Medellin's image, and it's very unsafe. I don't know. So that's me personally.
Yeah, it's true. And Mexico City, I think it's similar to Bogota. Like Mexicans go to work in Mexico City, but it's also very popular for foreigners. There are some areas where there are nice areas to live. There are nice restaurants, bars, Condesa, Roma Norte. They're very popular to live, but they are also very, very expensive to live. And the cost of living is crazy there. So Mexico City, I would say it has like it's an area very with a high cost of living. But if you go to further away, you'll find areas where are probably unsafe and you don't want to live there as a foreigner. I'm talking about as a foreigner.
Okay. But would you recommend, like, if people want to move to Mexico, right? Would you recommend going to Mexico City, or would you recommend like Guadalajara, or like where you guys live? I always forget what it's called.
Querétaro.
Yeah, Querétaro.
I think Mexico City is a must see.
Okay.
Definitely. I would say if you go for the first time, go to Mexico City instead of Guadalajara.
Okay.
For me, because there's a lot of history, culture, the pyramids. Querétaro is also nice, the city where I live, and it's close from Mexico City, so that would be a great trip. Mexico City and Querétaro.
Okay. Cool. Are very Guadalajara and Mexico City are very open with anything with LGBT, more so than parts of Colombia that I've seen. but Guadalajara and Mexico City are more of an exception. Hi, Wes, by the way. Irish Allen here. I was in your restaurant a couple months back and we spoke. What's up, brother? Yeah, I remember you. Thank you. Is Mexico cheaper than Colombia?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm living in Querétaro. This is a city that is becoming very popular, very touristy among Mexicans and foreigners too. We're living in the central area, so we're very near to the restaurants, bars, the colonial area, and we found a very good deal. We're paying $500
Oh, wow.
per, it's like a small home, a small house.
Okay. Is it bigger than my apartment? Smaller than my apartment?
It's difficult to tell because our small house has two levels to
Okay.
it. So with two bedrooms,
Okay.
two bathrooms, it's perfect for the two of us.
I see. Okay.
So your apartment is big.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You have two bedrooms?
Three.
Three. Yeah, maybe it's the same.
Okay.
Maybe it's the same. But you have a studio. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I have the studio. And this isn't like the top area here. This is like a Strato 6 here in
The
Colombia.
fancy area.
Yeah, that's-
You're living in a very nice area.
Yeah.
We're paying that, but there are definitely houses, apartments more expensive.
Mm.
So what's it like here?
Manizales is because it's a small city, it's still cheap. I would say Medellin, Bogota are pretty expensive. With the prices that you gave, I would say I think Colombia is a little more expensive. Well, no. Cost of living is probably the same.
Mhm.
I think food in Mexico is more expensive.
I think so. When I buy a breakfast, we usually pay, let's say, minimum $4, and that's a cheap breakfast.
Okay.
And what you tell
Here,
me?
I would say minimum is like $2, $3 for breakfast. But like a cheap breakfast is probably like $2. So yeah, I think
$2.
yeah.
I just had a breakfast for $2.
Okay, exactly. Yeah.
$2.50.
So yeah, so I would say as far as price goes, Mexico in general, like the food and cost of living is probably a little more expensive. But like for rent and everything, I think it's probably the same.
Probably. It depends, right?
Yeah.
Depends on the city.
Yeah, it depends on the city. Which country has hotter women? I'm not gonna answer that. Not with her. That's rude. What cities are equal in weather?
Yeah, you're the answer.
What cities are equal in weather and quality of life and cost between Mexico and Colombia? Well, okay, so for example, right, like what here, Manizales or Medellin or Bogota, do you think they're like equivalent cities in Mexico?
Bogota, Mexico City, Medellin. Oh no. Well, Medellin is, as you said, is getting very popular around the world.
Yeah.
So I would say, Dave, could you compare Medellin with others?
It's like a big cultural center it's like its own thing. And also the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell. Maybe
Yeah.
Monterrey, Guadalajara. Difficult to tell.
They don't have the same culture.
Okay.
And actually, Manizales, I would say it's kind of similar to Querétaro. Querétaro is more touristy than Manizales. Manizales is like a hidden gem to me.
Yeah, exactly. For now.
For now.
Yeah.
After this live stream.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens in 10 years because we're already talking like Manizales is already developing a lot. There's a lot of international tourism coming, and a lot of people that are getting sick of Medellin are coming to Manizales. So, it's hard to say what things are going to look like in the future.
I just want to say that Manizales is great for us, because it has local food, but international food too, and it's very tasty. There's a lot of green areas, activities. We can see visit the most touristy areas in Colombia too, and they're very close.
Mhm.
We're close to, more or less, to Bogota.
Yeah.
And the only downside I would say is that Manizales, it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
And it rains.
It rains a lot. Yeah. There's a question here. Okay. Any underrated day trips from Medellin that you wouldn't mind sharing if they get started to get more tourists? I would say like Jardín is really nice. You can check out someone like Guatapé. Obviously, you have to go see. Check out like the pueblos, like Colombian pueblos. Once you've seen one of them, you've kind of seen them all. They're very similar. But I would say like in Medellin, yeah, definitely check out Guatape. Like that's probably the big thing that everybody needs to check out. What do you think of the new digital nomad visa? I think it's great. If you make less than $1,000 a month, you can apply for a digital nomad visa. I would recommend most people do that. I think that's just
Yeah.
it's just the smartest. Wes, would you ever move to Mexico? Karen, would you ever move to Colombia? We would visit, but we would probably not move there. What about you?
We are coming back, but we aren't thinking of moving here. Just
Long, yeah.
staying for 2 months, 3 months every year, probably.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about Mexico too. Like I want to go to Mexico because, man, I just Mexican food so good. You know, I want to be able to visit them like in her city.
Yeah.
But no, I think Colombia because my girl's from here, Manizales,
Mm.
and like our church is here. We have we want to raise our kids here. All of her family is here, so it's hard for us to move to another place.
Yeah.
But that's I'll talk about that in another video. Her and I we are actually thinking about potentially traveling for a bit and going to Asia, stuff like that. But we'll see. Have you ever? Do you like Cali, Colombia? Thoughts? I'm headed there soon. Have you? Did you guys go to Cali?
No, we haven't had the opportunity to visit Cali, but we want to go because we've heard good things. And if you're a person who likes salsa, we like dancing salsa. So we're going because we want to. Well, we want to feel that environment.
Yeah, you can dance, Dave.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Se defiende.
See? Good for you, bro.
And I don't know what do you think?
I haven't been to Cali, so I've just heard that it's very dangerous and there's not a lot to do there. You know, I just never had a reason to go to Cali, so no, I can't say anything about that. Which city do you think is safer, Medellin or Mexico City, especially for female expats?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, as a Mexican, I can tell you that I was living in Mexico City 7 years ago, and I felt pretty safe, but obviously I didn't visit the areas that I knew that I didn't have to visit. But touristy areas like Condesa, Roma Norte, Polanco, El Zócalo, the touristy areas are pretty safe.
Yeah.
Very, very safe.
I think it depends on two things. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm,
If you're a female traveler, if you look Latin, you're gonna have less problems.
yeah.
If you look like American or if you look like you're a European, you're gonna get as a woman. I feel like you're gonna get targeted for robberies.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think Medellin right now is less safe for men because the whole women thing. So men are more likely to get drugged. Men are more likely to get like robbing from, or like people are more likely to rob men. I actually think like at this moment, Medellin is safer for women than it is for men. I don't know.
Medellin is very touristy. I was in Medellin, and as a woman, you can walk alone, you can visit places alone. As you said, if you are a European appearance, obviously people are going to pay you more attention.
Yes.
And more if you don't speak the language. That's a
good point.
disadvantage, I have to say.
Yeah, that's a very
So-
good point.
I have Spanish conversational courses if you're interested.
There you go. Yeah,
Quick.
yeah. Go. No, talk
Quick
about,
announce.
go ahead. Tell a little bit. What do you do for your business?
Yeah, well, I have a YouTube channel where I speak about my country, Mexico, but I also have courses in Spanish, online courses for people who don't speak Spanish at all, and for people who want to develop their conversation skills. And I also have native teachers who can help you and give the material, vocabulary before having the class. So we focus on talking in class.
Okay.
So that's what I do. If
Yeah.
you're interested, my website is thriveinspanish.
Thriveinspanish.com. Cool. I'll put it right here. Thriveinspanish.com. There you go. Yeah, no problem.
Taking advantage of your live stream.
Yeah, no, please. You're my guest. That's totally okay. Okay, better quality of life, Mexico City or Bogota? In my opinion, I think it's probably in Mexico City. It's a little more international. I think Colombia is still pretty like to Colombia. Bogota has a lot of international scene, but I feel like
Mm.
Mexico City has a bigger It's just like more international as
It's
a
very international.
yeah, right. It's more developed. I feel like it's more popular. I don't know. What do you think?
It's getting very popular. Yeah, you're right. It's getting very popular. So at the moment, there's a lot of foreigners who are living in Mexico City.
Yeah,
So actually, there's a dilemma right now with the Mexicans.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Mexicans are complaining that foreigners are gentrifying Mexico City,
Mm.
and there's if look at the news and you'll see more. But yes, that's what's happening. That's what's happening because Mexicans are saying that foreigners are rising the prices in Mexico
Yeah.
City.
Is it true? Do you think it's true?
Yes, but it's more complicated than that because
Okay.
Mexicans are the ones who are raising the prices, the owners of the
Ah.
restaurants, bars. And I have to say that if I had a restaurant in La Condesa, which is the nicest area, and I would see there are a lot of demand, there's a lot of demand, I would
raise prices too. Yeah, for
I
my
would
restaurant.
raise my
Yeah.
prices.
Yeah.
So, but it's like it's a chain. It's not foreigners' fault. It's how Mexico, how people are handling the whole situation, even the government. But that's a very complicated topic. What do you think?
Yeah, and we talked about this on this other video, and
Yeah,
we could talk
definitely.
about it a little bit here. But a lot of times, Latin people, she was saying, they like to make themselves feel less, and they'll like cater towards foreigners,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's a really big deal. And Latin people specifically, they kind of almost like worship foreigners, right? So you think that's kind of a
good
problem, right?
topic. Yeah, for a video. It's very complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, yeah, we'll not touch that. Drop a like on the video, please, if you guys can help the live stream. That will help a lot. Okay, how come Bucaramanga is never mentioned? Santander is a cool state, but tourist nomads only consider Medellin, Bogota, and Cartagena. Because most foreigners that come to Colombia don't speak Spanish, so they don't want to go to these like low key cities because they don't know how to speak Spanish. So they would just rather go to like the big things. I've heard a lot of good things about Bucaramanga. I've always wanted to check it out, so I might go there with my wife one day, and then we'll go visit it. Mexico was definitely more expensive, so Colombia is my goal move. What do you think of Colombian food as a Mexican? Great question.
I like it. There's a lot of interesting food. For example, they put cheese in chocolate. That's
Yeah.
something new. That's a good combination. Fish, there's a lot of fish here. Trucha, or the fish with arroz con coco on the coast.
Mojarra, trucha, yeah.
Mojarra. Arepas are good too. And this is interesting because people would say it's the same with Mexican food. A lot of people say, Mexicans eat a lot of tacos all the time. But it's true.
Yeah. It is true.
It's true. And sometimes I feel like there's a lot of arepas here, but it's a cultural thing. I understand
Yes.
that because, yes, as a Mexican, I need my tortilla to support my food.
Yeah.
And that makes it a taco.
Uh-huh.
But my tortilla is a tool for my food.
Yeah.
And I think arepa sometimes is the same here in Colombia.
Yep. And then for me as an Asian guy, right? Like for us, it's rice, and I need rice with my food. If I don't eat rice, I feel like I'm no, I just don't feel like it's complete. So
Yeah,
the thing
exactly.
with right? And so here's the thing about arepas. The arepas that most people eat in Medellin and that you get on the street are fucking trash, dude. They're garbage. You have to get the ones from like the neighborhood stuff, like the one when they do it on the street, and then when they make it like in linear, like with the fire, and it's like
I tried them. Oh,
it's super good, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. Like the arepa is good there, but then if you just get the one from like the supermarket and stuff, those arepas are trash. So you gotta, yeah. But what do you think of like the variety of Colombian food?
I think if you go to for a menú del día, you'll find great variety. It's not different to Mexico. You'll find chicken or pork, or I don't know, with your rice, salad, or your soup, and that's the same in Mexico. Sometimes I feel like there's too much. Yes, I've said it. Sometimes I feel that there's only chorizos. There's only arepas. and
Yeah, okay.
I think there's no great variety.
Variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
So-
agree with that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Colombian food? I think that's a big problem too. There's not a lot of variety. Really. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and sometimes I say sometimes I'm gonna cook at home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Do you guys know how to make tortillas from scratch?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
We
it
know.
really good?
We need to prepare some tortillas for
I would
you.
love some. That would be super good. That would be super good. I'm currently in Popoyan. It's a nice small city. We bought a nice farm down here. Yeah, that's what I heard. Mexican food is better than Colombian has down. Yeah, I don't even think it compares. Does Cuernavaca and Manizales compare, or is it more like Salapa?
Jalapa.
Jalapa.
I haven't been in Cuernavaca and Jalapa, so I know Cuernavaca is the weather is nice. It's a great place for Mexicans to visit on the weekend. So I don't know. I think Manizales is more like a proper city. I don't know. It's a proper city. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think?
Cuernavaca is a proper city.
Yeah, Cuernavaca is a proper city.
I can't think of anywhere in Mexico that I think. I can't think of anywhere that I would compare Manizales to, because like the climate's quite cold, but it's quite a big city. We've been to colder places in Mexico, but they're normally quite small.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, I wouldn't really compare it. Like in terms of like, it feels like a smaller town. It's quite walkable and stuff.
Right.
Quite middle class and safe. Like,
Yes.
It's very safe here.
In those ways, it feels a bit like where we live in Canada.
Okay. But yeah, it's very unique here, right? It's just like
It's very unique. It
And
doesn't feel like the cities in Colombia where we've been.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, very organized,
Exactly. Yeah.
clean, very clean.
It's because I think like it's the size of a small city,
Mhm.
but it's just as developed as the big cities. But it just doesn't have the population of big cities, which is nice. And I think because of the weather here in Manizales, a lot of people don't want to move here. They would prefer like Medellin's weather, right?
Mm.
So because of that, there's not a lot of foreigners here yet.
The Medellin weather, I have to say that it's a good weather.
Yeah, it is. It is really nice. There's a lot of freaking pollution in Medellin, though, right? Like the pollution is really bad there.
Yeah.
What's up, Malcolm? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Karen, do you enjoy clothes shopping in Colombia so far as quality and styles available for women?
I haven't bought Colombian clothes. Just one. My jacket. Just my jacket.
Okay.
I think and that was a very nice quality jacket. I really.
Oh yeah, it is a nice jacket.
But I've been to the shopping malls, and there's a lot of nice clothes, beautiful clothes. The quality looks great. And my husband, he is the one who's been buying a lot.
Really?
A lot of clothes. The shirt that he has now.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You bought that from here?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And the fabric feels very soft.
Okay.
The designs for men are very. I like them. I don't know. They're different.
Yeah.
Compared to Mexico.
Do you think what are the styles like here in Colombia? Appearance matters a lot. So the men dress up and the men dress well. Well, here in Manizales specifically too. You think in Mexico is it different?
I think in Mexico it's similar. Like people, with men and women in Mexico, take very seriously their appearance.
Okay.
I've heard, I met American people who've been to my city in Mexico, and they ask me, why are Mexicans so well dressed if they just come for a lunch or for having a lunch? And I don't know if that's a cultural thing in the USA where
less so. I think it's a Latin thing. Appearance is important. People will dress up, which is nice. It's
nice.
So when it comes to like I always, how do I say this? I think like Latin women put a lot of more emphasis into the way that they dress than Western women do.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of cool clothes for women here.
Yeah. Sure.
Like more sexy clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, more like form. Right.
They've told me you should get some jeans, Colombian jeans.
Yeah, I don't know why Colombian jeans make their butts look so nice. Like it's
They've got the best engineers making it.
working tirelessly day and night for the Fed. What do you guys think? I think there's something, I don't know why. Like they just like specialize in like the butt area, and it always just makes the butts look so nice. It makes the butts look nice. Oh my god, that's funny. Okay. I love the green floral areas in Mexico locations that seem to be premium price wise for properties. What do you think?
Premium price wise for properties.
I love
I agree. There, I don't know where city are you talking about exactly, but yeah, I have to say they take care of green areas very seriously. But in Colombia too. I think so.
That is true. Yeah. In Mexico, do they in general they take care of the nature, you think?
Yes, in general. But I've seen, I'm talking about Manizales. I don't know the other cities that they take nature more seriously. I don't know that it's like
they're proud of it.
They're very proud of nature.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Rice is important in Haitian culture as well. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard Haitian food is lit, man. I heard it's a lot of rice and beans and meat, but I've heard it's like super good. Okay, Karen, have you found any Mexican restaurants while in Colombia that you said are just as good as Mexico?
Oh, that's a good question. We experienced some tacos. We found a taqueria in Medellin, and it was very nice. It was very similar to the tacos were very similar to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
But it was in El Poblado, which El Poblado has a lot of international restaurants.
Exactly right.
And we had a good experience. We paid $5 for 2 tacos, which is a lot.
It's very expensive.
It's very expensive, but it was worth it. Then we came here to Manizales. We found a Mexican restaurant, and we didn't have the same experience.
Yeah. Which one was it?
Near Milan. It's Alta Suiza, right? Alta Suiza.
What is it called?
No te rajes.
No te rajes. Yeah. Yeah. I believe it, bro.
Yeah. It wasn't Mexican at all.
Yeah. No, trying to find good Mexican food here is really tough. It's really hard. Okay. Please review the Mexican food in Manizales.
Well, we were talking about that. And because of that, we haven't try more Mexican restaurants. We just say, let's enjoy the Colombian food.
Exactly. And they're leaving to Mexico in a week anyway. So I'm like, just wait till you go home and get it better and way cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Mexico, Colombia will have closer relationships politically, given the fact that that Petro is coming into office today and Mexico has AMLO? What do you think?
It's the same that we were talking before. I would say that people in Colombia and in Mexico are tired of having the same politics system where they feel that they are not heard. They're desesperadamente looking for a change.
Yes, yeah.
So that was one of the reasons of why Mexicans chose AMLO. With AMLO was portraying different ideas, different ideas to help people, and that's all that I want to say because it's very cool. And I don't know if I think Petro is the same. The situation in Colombia is the same.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. I made the video talking about Petro, right? So the whole understanding about that is that the government here has been run by conservatives for so long. And then now the lower class, working class, everybody's so sick of the corruption that's been happening, you know? So whether to say that he's right or he's going to be better or not, people are just so sick of corruption that they just want want something completely new. And I think that's happening in a lot of Latin American countries. Yeah. And Mexico is no different. And plus, I think just with Latin culture, how people family oriented there's a lot of poverty in Latin America as well. That it's almost always gonna probably eventually at a certain point it's gonna lean towards socialism, towards the left. Okay, yeah, but it looks like the temperature is more pleasant and not as hot in Manizales compared to Medellin. I like it cool. Yeah, I like Manizales weather a lot. I think like it's cold, but you get used to it. And because it's chilly like this, I mean, today's a beautiful day, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But when it's chilly, we sleep super nicely, you know, and
That's
like
true.
and cuddling with my girl at night is just like it's the best when it's cold
Yeah,
and you
it's
sleep
true,
better.
it's true.
Because in Medellin, I would try to sleep, but because it would be so hot, sometimes at night it gets super hot. It was just like not comfortable.
Mm.
But okay, so yeah, if you guys have any more questions, leave them down below. The chat doesn't have too many more questions, so we'll go into the other questions that you guys have asked from before. Leave a like on the stream. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching. And yeah, I appreciate you guys a lot. Santander is amazing, but let's keep it a secret. I hope we can go with my girlfriend to her native Santander, especially take you to the countryside and do a collab. That would be cool.
Have you gone to Santander?
What?
Before?
No. I haven't been able to. But jeans are weird. I don't know. I like them. I think they're pretty cool. You gotta keep Santander a secret. I'm a bit concerned about the future of water in Querétaro. I'm in a weird place where I don't want a lot of rain, but I don't want droughts and fires like here in Colombia. I guess I need to choose. What do you think about that? The future of water in Querétaro.
You mean about the companies that the water is getting privatized? That's word. The
Privatized? Yeah.
Privatized.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think he is talking about that.
Uh,
Well, we don't know really. I don't even know, but it's true that there's a problem in Mexico where it's true that the companies are um, the government is letting or is giving water prioritizing the
yeah.
water to
private companies.
private companies, and it's happening in some cities now that where some areas, some neighborhoods are running out of water because the water is going to the companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Same.
it's something similar is happening in Querétaro.
Okay.
So we don't know. That's a good question.
Damn, that's crazy. That's intense. Okay. Did the Hobbit bar in Manizales survive the pandemic? I don't know. I've never heard of that, so probably not. Is a pescatarian diet manageable in Medellin? I think it's doable. It's gonna be pretty tough. If you want like a fish diet, you should probably go like to some of the places in the cafetero, or just go to like Cartagena and live in the coast. If you live in the coast, you can eat the fish, and the fish
All
is
the
really
time.
good. Yeah. Did you like it when you were there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
On the coast, overall, on the coast, fish is really tasty.
It is good.
But here there are some places too. We went to cevicheria. And it was good.
Yeah, but it's
not the same.
It's not the same. Exactly. Do you overall experience better showers in Medellin versus Mexico City? Karen, what has been your experience?
Showers. I like the.
Yeah, from the water.
I mean, I think I don't understand very well. What does she mean?
Like, yeah, what do you mean by showers? Explain a little bit about that, and then I can ask her.
Like the water, the tool, or the system, or
like heat, water pressure.
I don't know. Maybe I think it depends on the houses. If you went to my house, you would say Colombia has better showers.
Okay.
Because my house doesn't have a good. I don't know. It
doesn't have a good
old,
system. Okay.
Doesn't have a good system.
I see. Do you think your restaurant can survive the pandemic? Yeah, the restaurant's doing pretty well, but at this point in my life, I'm just over it, man. We have other plans. We have other things that we want to do. So the restaurant's doing well, is doing fine, but just like anything with food really is pretty tough. So, but yeah, I'll keep it at that. Does anyone filter the water in Colombia for drinking, or is it straight from the faucet? It depends on the city. Manizales is known for being like some of the purest water in the world. So
that's something that blew my mind.
Really?
Oh my God! When I knew what was I doing? Because if you depend in Mexico, you depend a lot of the big bottles of water.
Right.
And here, you can just drink it from the
faucet, and it's good, and it tastes good.
It's very good, and also the hair. This is something that I've been telling Dave. My hair feels softer than in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the water?
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. touch.
It is soft. It is soft. It is soft. That's funny. But yeah, no, for me, when I was living in Medellin, I drank from the faucet too. But yeah, the water here in Manizales is just the best. You feel it in your skin when you take a shower
Definitely.
here. Like you walk out, you just feel like what do you think?
Yeah, bro. Especially like the hot springs as well.
Yes.
The hot springs here.
Yeah,
That's
super
another
nice.
upside here
Yeah.
in Manizales. Manizales is great.
It's a great city. Yeah, Manizales is a great city. Okay. What's better local beer, Mexico or Colombia?
I have to say Mexico.
Yeah, I think Mexico too. Yeah. Do you like Tecate?
No,
I think Tecate tastes like
it's
like
not.
piss. It tastes terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, people who don't drink Tecate.
Yeah, but Dos Equis with a lime is fire. Corona's really good too. But I
have you tried hi, are you ready?
Modelo.
Yeah, all the modelos, but this Pacifico.
Yes, Pacifico is
It's
super
good.
good. Yeah, because I used to live in LA, right? So I'm so used to like all
Mm.
Mexican food and Mexican beers and everything. Modelo Negro, that's really good.
That
That was
great.
like super, low key.
Mm.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I would say that Mexican beer is probably better. What do Colombians, Mexicans think of the country of Peru and Peruvians? Great question. Interesting question.
Mexicans, that's a very popular destination for Mexicans to go to Peru. We know that they have good food. Food is popular.
Yeah, Peruvian food is really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So that's it. I would say.
Yeah, dude. What do you guys think of the people? Or you don't have an opinion?
We don't have I don't have an opinion. I don't really have an opinion. The only thing that I've heard, and I agree, is that Mexicans and Peruvians talk similar.
Okay, yeah, I would say that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the people in Peru?
I went to Peru when I was like 5 years ago, I think. It was cool. The food, there's a lot of Asian people in Peru. There's a lot of Chinese people. There's a few Japanese people. The food is a mix of those two. There's a lot of Japanese fusion in Peru. As far as like Peruvian people go, the people are not as nice as Colombians. I think they're not as attractive as Colombians either. I think Colombians are more attractive. But I don't know, man. I don't know too much about Peru. It was cool experience when I went. I got a tattoo, but other than Machu Picchu, it's not like I would want to live there. I like living in Colombia a lot more. Okay, I did like the BBC beer. It is nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that is good.
Nice.
What is there better beaches in Mexico or in Colombia?
I don't know. We really like the coast of Colombia. It has great beaches, Tayrona, all that area.
Is that Santa Marta, Tayrona, or
Santa Marta is very close to Tayrona, but the beach in Santa Marta is not. It's not
nice.
It's not nice.
Really? Okay.
But it's a beach. But the advantage of Santa Marta is that you can go to. There are a lot of beaches near Santa Marta, and it's easy. But Mexico has good. I would say a lot of beaches, like on the north of Mexico, blue, clear water beaches. South, of course, we know that Tulum, Cancun is very popular.
Yeah, but I've heard like Rosarito, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Mexico has way better beaches than Colombia does. Like it's not even a competition.
Yeah, but also it's very touristy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, what do you think, Dave? Do you think it's true?
I don't know. It's hard to beat Tayrona.
Yeah.
Tayrona is amazing.
Really?
I think maybe Mexico has more good beaches, but the best beaches in Colombia are pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out, my girl, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you definitely.
You have to.
Okay. Is cartel an issue in Colombia any longer? In some parts, I've seen that they're making a comeback, but it's not nowhere near the level. It's more like if you're respectful and you're not doing any stupid shit, and you're not looking for like drugs and prostitutes and stuff, you're gonna be fine. I don't think you're gonna have like run into any issues with the cartel. Yeah, no, I don't. But I don't think it's really an issue anymore. Mexican food versus Peruvian food. What are your thoughts?
I don't really know. I don't have a lot of experience with Peruvian food.
Yeah.
I would say Mexican food.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
What do you think?
I like Peruvian food a lot. I think Peruvian food is fire. I think they have their advantages. I like how Peruvian food is like mixed. It has a lot of Asian fusion in
Yeah, I
in
like
Peruvian
that.
food, which is
Yeah.
nice. There's a lot the I feel like the seafood in Peruvian food is super good.
Mm.
Ceviches, the sushi is all really good. So, but Mexican food, when it's like when I'm out and I've drank all night with my friends and it's 10 p.m. and I want to eat some tacos and I just like there's just it doesn't hit the spot like Mexican food. Like Mexican
Yeah.
food is just the best. And, okay, my favorite beer in Colombia is Tres Corderos Mestiza. It's IPA. I've been talking to a beautiful Colombian woman. She's the sweetest girl I've ever met, but her cousin doesn't really want her to date me because she thinks Americans aren't thoughtful. Advice? I'm gonna stay away from that. I think what you do with your girl is up to you. Americans just have a really bad rep, so you just got to show them that you're different than the rest. Are kidnapping or extortion of businesses an issue? No, that doesn't happen here. Maybe in some parts of like Medellin, and some parts here in Manizales, I think we've seen it maybe, but I've never had any issues. But we're pretty healthy business anyways.
Well, I want to say something about that. In Mexico, it's an issue. Extortion in businesses, yeah, by narcos. Unfortunately, it's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
In your city too?
We don't know really. Our city is not popular for being unsafe.
Okay.
So, but definitely in a lot of cities, near our city.
Oh, wow, interesting. That's nice to know.
Mhm.
Okay, so it is about almost 1 o'clock. We'll probably go to like 1:15, and then I'm gonna cut the stream. So whatever questions you guys got, put it in now. We're gonna try to answer everything, but I would say around 1:15, I'm probably gonna cut it here, and then we're gonna do a stream on her channel too. So at 1:30. So if you guys have any questions that we don't answer here, we'll go on her channel. You can ask it there, but that is gonna be more focused on like life in Colombia, me towards me, rather than like right now we're just trying to ask her as many questions as possible. Okay, what do you think of Armenia? Did you guys go to Armenia?
No.
Yeah.
And you?
I visited Armenia. I thought Armenia was really nice. I like how it's a lot flatter. It's a little more of a jungle scene. It's nice and developed. I think it's a lot nicer than Pereira. But I haven't spent a long enough time there to really give an opinion. But it's nice. Armenia is really beautiful, and I've heard it's it's a lot more darker skinned. It's because it's closer to like Cali and stuff than Manizales is. So that might change the culture as well. Okay. I want to try living in Mexico for a while, but I want a place that's a little more tropical. Would you recommend Cordoba or Orizaba?
I don't know. Sorry, I
No?
don't have. No, I haven't visited those places.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Mexico City citizens versus Bogota citizens in terms of friendliness. What do you think?
Mexico City and Bogota. Okay. Um, my experience is that people in Mexico are always in a rush because life in Mexico City is like very fast, like big cities, I guess.
Yeah, Bogota's the same. Yeah.
And so they are not as friendly as if you went to a small city in Mexico or a town in Mexico. So they are not going to tell you if you ask for a direction. They probably are going to tell you, but at the same time they are going to look at you like, you have your phone.
Yeah.
Look at your phone. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, people in Mexico, maybe just because they have a lot to do, they have to commute a lot to go to their jobs, so they don't have time to be friendly.
You know, it's funny. It's the same in Bogota as well. I would say Bogota is very, the people are not friendly. Like here in the Paisa region, in Manizales, if you're lost, people will literally like show you. They will walk you to where you need to go.
That's
you know,
true.
and they'll be like, okay, no, it's right here. Come with me, and we'll take you. Like even to the point where, like, if you need time to, okay, so let's say you're waiting for somebody, right? If the neighbors see you, they could sometimes they'll even invite you for a coffee. They'll invite you into the house. Like that's how it is. The culture here in Manizales.
It's true. It's true.
But in the big cities like Bogota, the Rolos are they're known for not being as friendly as the Paisas. But however, I think in general, Colombia is probably more friendly than Mexico is. Do you think?
I think the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know because foreigners go to Mexico and they say they have Mexicans. We Mexicans are friendly, but it's true. I think my husband agrees with me that Colombian people are friendly.
Friendlier, you think so? Colombian friendlier?
Definitely,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Ridiculously friendly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's the best thing about Colombia. Okay, let's see. For beaches, Mexico is better, yeah. What airport do you use more? Armenia, Manizales, Pereira? Karen, do you use CRO or Querétaro or
Querétaro, Mexico City.
Use Pereira. Here in the Eje Cafeteria, always use Pereira. Manizales is always closed, and Pereira is like the central area, so always land in Pereira.
We have our flight from Manizales.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, good luck.
Oh my
Hopefully it
God.
doesn't get canceled.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it happens a lot here, so we'll see. But if you guys will be, maybe you guys are lucky, but it's a problem here. People, we always say like if you fly into Pereira. My parents, when they for the wedding, they came and they got delayed in Bogota the whole day because they shut down the airport here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem for sure.
Okay, and Querétaro or Mexico City, I would go to Mexico City. Just because Querétaro doesn't have that problem as Manizales, but it tends to be more expensive, the final destination from Querétaro.
Okay.
So it's just better to take a bus from Querétaro to the airport in Mexico City. It's very comfortable.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. How is dating as an expat woman in Colombia versus Mexico? Maybe you guys have friends that shared opinions. Do you guys have any friends that
Women in Mexico.
yeah, expat women?
Hannah? Helen?
Hannah and the other girl, the Swiss.
Thank you. Thanks for the donation, bro. Appreciate that.
Ooh, cheers.
$5. Let's go. Let's go. $5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have for our lunch.
Yeah. Not even. It's like half a lunch. But it's okay. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't know. We have friends in Mexico, women friends that have no issues. And actually they're exotic, so probably
Yeah.
they have good luck.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that the Mexican men look at foreign women trying to take advantage of them? So you know how like Latin women will usually look at foreigners as for money. Do you think that Mexican men or Latin men look at foreign women the same?
No.
No?
Mexican men just because they find them different in appearance.
Okay.
So the experience that I've had, for example, I have a friend who's dating a Mexican, and she says, "I'm loving this because he's very what's the word? Caballeroso. What's
Gentleman. He's a gentleman. Yeah.
Gentleman. And I don't have that in Europe, so I'm enjoying that part of having a Mexican boyfriend.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've heard that too. That the foreign women that come here is just refreshing for them because the men here are a lot more like flirtatious. The men are a little more chivalrous because in the US and in the UK we're so cold, and like the dating culture is so like so weird. I don't know, it's robotic. But then here in Latin America, it's very like just people love from both sides. You know, it's just very very loving.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Like very passionate, right?
Exactly. There you go. As far as like the expat girls that I know here, there's a couple of my subscribers. There's a girl named Sarah. I don't know if you're here, Sarah, but she's dating a Colombian. She said it's been great. I think Colombian, those relationships that I've seen, the Colombian men treat the women really well. And I think just for us as guys, we don't really look at girls for money. It's more like if we're attracted to you, like we're gonna go for you. But I think just any foreigners here in Colombia, you get seen as exotic, so you're probably gonna have better luck here. I've heard that Colombian Spanish is slower and clearer than other Spanish-speaking countries. Is that true?
I think it depends on the region in Colombia. If you are on the coast, you won't think that.
Yeah.
And it happens in Mexico too. The area where I'm from in Mexico, I think we speak slow and clear. But if you go to the south or the coast, people speak faster. I don't know. What do you think? That you've been learning Spanish.
Yeah, I think Colombia is huge. Paisa Spanish is beautiful. The coast Spanish, Venezuelan Spanish is so hard to understand. Man, Venezuelans, they cut so many of their syllables and they cut so many of their vowels. Yeah. So it's hard to understand them. But I would say in general, like if you want to learn Spanish, Paisa Spanish is the way to go. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
My wife is Mexican, and I struggle with her Spanish. Maybe it's just me. How's the Mexican food in Manizales? We already talked about that. It's trash. Garbage. What's more dangerous overall, Mexico City or Medellin? I think it depends on if you're how you look. You know, if you in Medellin specifically, right? You could probably speak about Mexico City. In Medellin, if you look like a foreigner, you have a target on your back. If you look like you're American, you have a target on your back. Women are going to try to scam you, drug you. People are going to on the street are going to try to like sell you stuff, and you have a higher target for like robbing. Because Americans in general, for some reason, we're not subtle. So when we go to countries, we like flexing. So we like showing our money. We like showing our stuff. We like wearing expensive shit. And I think that will make things more like more dangerous for you.
That's something that surprises me because I've heard that in Medellin there's gangsters who are just looking people depending on their appearance, if they're foreigners, and they just to rob you.
Yep.
And I haven't heard that in Mexico City.
No.
Of course, that happens. Things happen in Mexico City, but it's more. I feel like Medellin people in Medellin have even a plan to rob you.
Yeah.
And in Mexico City, it's like I'm just going to rob you if you are in a bad area, in a dangerous area, in a bad time.
I see.
So that's my.
So, but which one do you think is safer?
If you're in a good area in Mexico City, nothing is going to happen.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'd probably say Mexico City. I mean, I haven't been, but I think Medellin right now is probably not the safest. I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going back to Medellin actually. Surprise. Next week I'm going to Medellin with my girl. So if we ever see each other on the street, say what's up. We have to do something for my girl's visa for our honeymoon. So I'm actually gonna be in Medellin again. I'm gonna make some videos about that. I'm gonna see what's up to a friend. I'm gonna say what's up to David. Maybe we'll do videos together. But yeah, surprise! I'm going back to Medellin, guys. Let's see. What are your future plans? Are you closing your restaurant? I want to sell the restaurant because the restaurant is good and I think it's gonna be a good option for somebody. But if I'm being honest, I'm gonna try to I want to focus just all on YouTube and my music and make money through that. And I'm gonna do like a clothing company that I made back in the day. It's gonna be my merch line. So I just want to focus on like digital nomad ways to make money because I want to travel with my girl before we have kids. And I want to go to Asia. I want to go to Europe and do some videos there. So I'm gonna try to make my lifestyle more like digital and more online, like what they're doing. Like they work online. They have all their businesses online, so they have freedom to travel. And I want the freedom to be able to travel and do things again. So, but yeah, so that's my future plan. But like closing the restaurant, no, I would rather sell it. I don't want to just like close it down because it's still doing okay. But I would rather just sell it and like have somebody else give the business to them so they have a head start, and then I can focus on my own things. Would a Nicaraguan who looks mestizo blend in Mexico or Colombian? Colombia.
I don't know.
I feel like you probably look more Mexican than Colombian, but it depends on the area too, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, they would blend perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question.
All right. Good question.
I feel safe and popular. Okay, so we have a couple more questions left that I'm gonna answer, but I think I'm gonna shut down the stream soon. So if you guys have any last minute questions, put it right now, because I'm gonna answer the ones that we had already, and then we're gonna move on to our channel at 1:30. Okay, this is a great question. Chances to advance economically in Mexico versus Colombia. What do you think?
Which is better?
Yeah, what is better?
It's similar to the other question. I don't know. I think it depends on what is the government investing.
Okay.
So I would say it's very political. I don't know. You first.
Yeah.
Maybe I get some inspiration.
In my opinion, I think there's more economic opportunity in Mexico just because it's already established. I think the unfortunate thing about Colombia is that I think Colombia is very capitalist friendly, but who knows what's going to happen with Petro right now. but also Colombians in general are very closed-minded, so they're not as open to other cultures as I would say it is in Mexico, because Mexico is already an established like foreign country. Nobody knows about Colombia. Well, people know about Colombia now.
Yeah, Mexico is more popular.
Yeah, people. Yeah, people know of Mexico for a while. I would say economic opportunity probably in Mexico. For the moment, is not. There's a lot of opportunity in Colombia still, but I think just like if I were to do a business, right, I would probably rather do it in Mexico because it has more opportunities. However, like you have the extortion from narcos in Mexico. I don't know how the government works there. It's very easy to make a business here in Colombia. So
yeah, that's a good point. If narcos see that your business is going well, they're gonna ask for money.
Yeah.
They're mordida.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in Mexico, there's a lot of corruption too. So yeah, if something happens to your business or even to you as a person, I have to say that the police system is not very good. So
yeah.
So maybe you won't feel that you are protected. And more with the government. The government is making a lot of changes. It's easy to see to tell why you say that Mexico is like a more established country, but there's a lot of uncertain things that the government that are happening in Mexico and we don't know. And the government is making a lot of changes right now.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know. We don't want to have a business in Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. There you go. That tells you everything. And then from my thing, right? For as far as the restaurant, I want to sell the restaurant, and then I want to do other businesses, but I want to transition all of my stuff online and try to do like earn money online because, like earning Colombian pesos is just not, in my opinion, is just not the move. And then having to like my experience with Colombian workers has been 50% great, 50% bad. But I don't know. There's a lot of things for that. So, okay. Are you more likely to attract gold diggers in Colombia or Mexico? It's a you question, bro. If you attract gold diggers anywhere, it doesn't matter where you're at, bro. If it's Mexico or Colombia, you're gonna attract gold diggers. Okay, this is a great last question. Is there a more established expat community in Mexico City or Medellin?
Mexico City has a great established expat community or foreign community. There's a lot of foreigners, a lot. So I don't know Medellin. I think Medellin is the same. Or what do you think?
I think for the longest time it was Mexico City, but I think Medellin is catching up because
I think so.
Yeah, it's not a secret anymore. And out of all of Colombia, when expats come, they always go to Medellin. So I think that's that's the main city. That's the main hub for everything. Cool. You got anything else you want to say?
No. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I enjoy watching your videos. It's because of you that my husband and I are here in Manizales, and we've been having a great experience.
No, it's crazy, man. Like having YouTube friends is such a different ballpark,
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, it's cool because we're like, they're just good people too. Dave too. Yeah, they're just really good people. So we were able to have
your wife who is over there.
Yeah, we were able to make like a nice, cool relationship, just like as friends. But then the fact that we can actually do YouTube videos together too, and it's like, oh, can you say in this angle? Oh, and can we do this take again? Like we just understand, and like most people don't understand. I feel so.
Yeah. That we need to record ourselves. Like let's talk in front of the camera. Sometimes it gets weird when we're with people who don't do the same.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's easy.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna go to her channel now. So we're gonna be talking about the same topic, but they're gonna be asking me questions about Colombia. So if you guys have any other questions that you have, go ahead on her channel, and then we can go from there. But thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for the donation, Bong Dot. $5, baby. We're rich. Let's go.
Okay, see you
right.
on my channel, guys.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. We'll see you on the channel. See you later. Bye.